As you probably already know, podcasting is becoming huge in the last few years. So we're going to take a look at some new products that make it super simple to get up and running with your new podcast. Let's take a look. Hey everyone, Nick Taylor here from Menagerie Studio, and as I mentioned, we're going to be talking about podcasting, and specifically a brand new product from Rode, products from Rode. We have the RODECaster Pro, which is a all-in-one podcasting interface that gives you 4 inputs, 4 headphone outputs. Along with that, we also have the brand new PodMic, which is really well suited to go with this. There's some presets in here, so you plug this microphone in, you select the preset, a few parameters, and your podcast is going to sound professional and amazing from day one. We also have a couple items here from Tascam. These are the TH MX2s. There's some great budget headphones. To complete your podcast production studio, you're going to need XLR cables and you're going to need some kind of way to mount the mics. Just a quick note, neither company has sponsored this episode, and all of this equipment was purchased with our own money. So I thought I'd explain real quick why Menagerie Studio, as a video production company, is doing a series on podcasting, and that's because we've recently sponsored the Taylor Media Room here at Radius Cowork. Our company has outfitted this for the members to use to create their own podcasts. So this series is to both teach members how to use the equipment, and for anyone out there that is considering getting into podcasting and looking for an all-in-one solution, this series is going to help you get started. Okay, so the first piece of equipment we have here is the RODECaster Pro, and this is going to be the brains of the operation. Something I really like about this is they've made it incredibly user-friendly. Everything is kind of done behind the scenes in this to make your podcast sound amazing without having to have a huge knowledge of audio engineering. So here is the interface itself. You've got 4 faders that correspond with 4 XLR audio jacks here, so you have 4 mic preamps to work with. This is actually a touchscreen where you can navigate through all the menus, turn on and off processing, and access all the different features that are built into this device. There's also a USB audio, a phone audio, which is a auxiliary jack, and there is also Bluetooth. There are 8 sound banks here, which you can pre-program with musical intros, outros. You can put sound effects here. You also have 4 independent volumes for the 4 headphone jacks. We also have a big old record button just to make things even simpler. On the back, we have a power on and off switch. We have the power connector. We've got a USB-C. You also have a micro SD card slot for recording right onto that. You have left and right monitor outputs, 4 headphone jacks, a 3.5 millimeter headphone jack for connecting a phone or other audio device. And back here, you have your 4 XLR inputs for your 4 mic channels. The build quality is great. It feels very sturdy, and it's small enough that this can go with you anywhere. This is definitely a portable device. This unit has phantom power, so it can power any microphone that you're gonna throw at it. So the next crucial component of our new podcasting setup is the microphones. We bought 4 of these PodMics, which are dynamic microphones from Rode that are purpose-built for podcasting. The whole thing feels incredibly solid. The XLR jack is right in the back there. And again, they've kept everything very simple. In case you're interested, I am going to briefly show you the specifications for this microphone, including frequency, response, sensitivity, and all of that stuff for you audiophiles out there that care about those things. That was a quick look at all of the different components that we've put together for a beginner podcasting setup. Here we are in the Taylor Media Room. So we're gonna dive in and figure out how to set this all up so you can start your very first podcast on the RODECaster Pro. So once everything is plugged in, go ahead and hit the red power button on the back. Everything will boot up and we can get started. The first thing you're gonna wanna do is make sure that the microphone is set up for your voice. So let's jump into the menu here. Easy way to get to it is for each microphone, there's a dedicated button. You can just press that button. So now we're in the Channel 1 menu. From here, we can first click on Microphone, and since we're using the Rode PodMic, we'll select the profile for the Rode PodMic. There's other microphones here that are supported, and if yours is not supported, you can choose generic, condenser, and dynamic microphone profiles. The next thing you're going to want to do is go to level, and this is where you can see how hot the mic is. We're at level 35. It's bouncing right where it needs to, so we're looking good. The next thing to tailor this to your voice is to click on the voice button. In voice, you can see we can go to tone, and this you can think of also as pitch. Does the person have a deep voice? Do they have a medium voice? Or do they have a high voice? For me, I'm going to put a medium tone. Next, we can go to strength. In here, you can choose whether they have a quiet voice, a naturally quiet voice, if they have a medium volume voice, or if they have a strong voice. If someone talks loud already, you're going to want to compensate for that in this profile. For me, again, I'm choosing the middle of the road, medium. Finally, in advanced, you can see some of the processing capabilities that are built right into the RODECaster Pro. So let's take a look. Here you'll see things like compressor, de-esser, high-pass filter, and noise gate. And on the first channel, it also has the ducking feature. This essentially will automatically lower some mics' volumes and allow the host mic to cut through. It helps when there's a lot of people talking and you need to cut through the mix to move the conversation forward. There's also an RL exciter, a big bottom, and then an on and off switch for the overall processing. Essentially, the RL exciter adds a little presence to the voice, so you might perceive this as a little bit crisper highs. And the big bottom, as it sounds, gives you that radio announcer bass in your voice. Of course, you can always toggle this off. Right now, I have it toggled on, but I'll show you exactly what it's doing by turning processing off. This is now the raw signal from the microphone. You can hear it adds a lot of presence and equalization to your voice. So for most people that aren't going to be bringing this into a audio editing software, this is a really nice way to get a great sounding podcast right out of the box. Okay, so the next thing we're gonna do is if you have any other people in your podcast, you're gonna wanna go through each channel. You can access them by pressing these buttons, or if you're in the menu, you'll see channel 1, 2, 3, and 4 on the touch screen. The next thing you're going to want to do for everyone is make sure that their headphone levels all are good for everyone. You're going to plug in your headphones into the 1/4-inch jacks on the back of the mixer. You'll notice each one also has a number. To keep things simple, you should probably match the number of the microphone input to the number of the headphone output. Here it's pretty simple. You can just turn up or down the volume for each set of headphones to everyone's liking. The other thing you're going to need to do if you want to record on the RODECaster Pro is make sure you have a micro SD card. The package that we ordered off of B&H Photo actually came with a 32 gig card, which for what we have set up will give you over 30 hours of recording time. There are also some more what I'll call advanced features where you can actually have USB audio. So if you're plugged into a laptop or computer, you can actually bring in the audio from the computer via USB. The other one is smartphone. This one is actually a 3.5 millimeter jack that you can plug into any phone, but there actually is a second option if you're going to use your phone, and that's Bluetooth. So if you do want to bring someone in over Bluetooth, say from a phone call or a FaceTime call or a Skype call, all you're going to want to do is press the Bluetooth button on top of that fader. It'll bring up the Bluetooth pairing menu. You can turn on Bluetooth, and then you can click pair, and it will ask you if you'd like to pair a smartphone, tablet, or computer. You say yes. Let's go ahead and put the Bluetooth volume up to 0 or Unity. And let's call in Greg. He is one of our team members here at Menagerie Studio, and see if we can get him into our podcast.
Hey man, what's up?
Hey Greg, how's it going?
Hey, what's going on?
Not too much, just doing the RODECaster Pro demonstration here. We have you on Bluetooth, and we're just showing everyone exactly how this works. So it's pretty much as simple as that. All right, Greg, I'm going to let you go. Thanks for jumping on the call. Bye.
Cool.
Finally, there is a sound bank here, and these are basically trigger pads that can trigger music or interview audio. Pretty much any audio file can be triggered by pressing one of these. You can go back to the meter screen, have everyone talk a little bit, make sure that everyone is hitting right around unity, which is that bold line on the display for each channel. If everything looks good, you can go ahead and hit the record button and you're off to the races. To listen back to our podcast, we can go back into the menu using the music note button. From here, we'll hit the back button, and there will be a button called Podcasts. You'll see the most recent podcast recorded queued up, and you can play and listen back to what you've just recorded. All right, guys, thanks for tuning in. That is how you get up and running on the RODECaster Pro. As we do in our other gear review videos, I will post links to all these products down in the description. If you use our links, we will get a small referral fee, which helps us keep this channel going. If you want to support this channel, go ahead and subscribe and hit the bell to get notified every time we put out a new piece of content. And as always, tune in again next time to see more gear reviews, tips, and tales from Menagerie Studio. Take care, guys.